Sadhguru Nath Maharaj Ki Jai, and welcome to Jagadambe Reads the Holy Books of India, ShrimadBhagavatam263. As you may remember, Krishna called all the cowherds together to go out and have some fun. They played pranks on each other and teasing each other and everyone who passed them by. They spent all their time laughing and playing. Krishna was the wildest of them all, surpassing everyone in his ability to think up new games. He would go far in advance of the others and dare them to catch him, and they would chase him all over the place. He would allow himself to be caught, and there would be great clapping of hands and shouting of the words, "Krishna has been caught," could be heard all over. When they were tired of this game, they thought of imitating the noises made by the inmates of the forest. Some tried to sing like the quail, and some tried to hum like the bee. Some clasped and chased the shadows of the birds flying in the air, and some sat on the riverbank like cranes waiting for fish. Some danced like peacocks, and others were hanging from the boughs of the trees, imitating the monkeys. The monkeys made faces at them, and the boys vied with each other to return the grimaces. Krishna suddenly jumped into the river to swim, and the whole crowd went swimming with him. How can one gauge the good fortune of the Gopas, who had the Lord all for themselves? He, the Parama-Purusha, the dust of whose feet is not possible to be obtained unless one spends millions of years contemplating him, with the senses under absolute control, the sight of whose face is very difficult even after many and many janmas of pure living. That same Paramatma, who can be realized only by the knowing ones. He is the servant of his devotees, and he is Krishna, who could roll on the sandy banks of the Yamuna with the ignorant and innocent boys of Vrindavan. Fortunate indeed was Vrindavan and the inmates of Vrindavan, who knew Krishna so well, and who were granted the privilege of living day and night with him, while they were thus engaged in the games which held their attention all the while. An Asura approached them. He was named Aga, a fitting name for the personification of evil. He had been sent by Kamsa to try and destroy Krishna. He was not fortunate enough to know how to enjoy the pranks of Krishna, which the Devas from the heavens did. They derived greater joy by looking at Krishna than even from a draught of Amrit. This Aga was the brother of Putana and Baka. He was not only eager to obey his lord and master Kamsa, but he also had his personal grievance against Krishna, who was the cause of the death of the other two. Looking at Rama and Krishna, he licked his chops and said to himself, "So this is the little fellow who is the killer of my brother and my dear sister. In return for that pain he caused me, I will destroy these two brothers and remove the thorn lodged in my mind and in that of my master at the same time. The death of these two boys will be the tarpana for my dear departed kinsfolk. Once these two die, Vrindavan will cease to exist, since their entire life seems to revolve around these children. I must hasten and do the needful." Agasura went and stayed in the path of the children. He changed himself into an immense python. It was 8 miles long and huge like a small mountain. His enormous mouth he kept open and waited for the coming of the children. The lower jaw of the python was placed firmly on the ground, and the upper jaw reached the sky. His mouth looked like a huge cavern, and his fangs could look like little peaks on the edge of the cavern. Right in the middle of the cavern could be seen his red tongue, and his breath was hot and burning the air around him. Sadhguru Nath Maharaj Ki Jai. Thank you for coming. I hope you come again.